Hi there and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've done a long form video. I said I wasn't going to do one, but this particular TV, this behemoth of a TV beside me, sort of prompted me to do it. I thought it would be interesting. I've had a lot going on in my life. I've had lots of other things I've been doing. I've bought 2 motorbikes and I've been doing a lot of motorcycling. Getting out of here and actually getting out into the fresh air and starting to do things. And I have just driven down to, where did I go? Stoke-on-Trent to get this monstrosity. And this is a Sony KV-2756UB from about 1985 to 87, something like that. Saw it on eBay, didn't realise how big it was. I was thinking 27-inch, oh, it's only a bit bigger than a 20 or a 22. No, it's big. It's about 40 kilos. I'm supposed to be not lifting stuff because of my heart, but, well, yeah, that was interesting getting it up on there. The seller put it up, said it came from a hotel somewhere in Stoke-on-Trent, I think, or near there. And he said that when he turned it on, there was smoke coming out the back. Now, my gut instinct says reefer caps. I was sending pictures of this to my friend John, and he immediately said reefer, and I'm sort of in there as well. And yeah, it's a thing. It's almost too big for my bench. It's huge. It is absolutely huge. Back in the day, this would have been a fairly substantial TV, even back then. Probably one of the biggest ones out there. I think there might have been like a 35-inch or something like that, or 32. But yeah, it's heavy. It is. It's basically a tube with plastic wrapper, and the entire weight is the tube. It's just monumentally heavy. So what we're going to do is somehow turn this back round again, and we'll have a look inside, see what's going on. If it is the reefer cap, I'll remove it, and then we'll power it up. I don't want to turn this on directly until I've seen inside. Cosmetically, it's not too bad. There's a few marks and bits and pieces. The screen looks okay. There's a bit of glue there. Surprising that the Sony badge is still on. The panel across the front here is no longer there. Lots of the buttons feel very mushy, and the buttons might have gone. They get sticky and they get stuck and stuff like that. Power button feels okay. There's a second tuner on this on the front, so you've got a tuner and you've got a SCART and you've got an RF on the back. So yeah, stereo sound, 2 speakers on either side. This would have been the centerpiece of a room or something like that at the time. My gut instinct says it was the tube has had the life run out of it. If it's been sitting in a hotel, it would have been sat on there with any old junk on there to entertain the punters in the hotel, especially a TV this big. I'm hoping that maybe it ended up or went into a room, or like a master suite, and only got turned on and off occasionally. Let's turn this round. I'm going to have a glug of tea. Let's turn it round. Let's see what's going on inside and make a decision on that. Again, if this thing is dead or can't be fixed, it's an immediate e-waste, down the tip, into the recycling, done. I don't have space in my house to store this at all. There's absolutely no way this is going into my loft or into my storage space. It's just monumentally heavy and big. Really, it should have been 2 people lifting this. This is a 2-person lift, and I just about did it myself. There's 2 handles on either side. Let's turn it round, and you can watch me trying to turn it round, because it's heavy. It's heavy. Right, let me have a glug of tea. Here we go. Right. And now hopefully the mat here will help me spin it. Oh my God. My bench is not groaning, but it's certainly noticeably dropping. Round we go. Round we go. Round. Oh, wow. Oh, let's get this cover off. Right. Screwdriver. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you this in a minute. There's some sort of little adapter on the thing there you have to take off. But anyway, let's see if I can get the speakers off. Ah, that's the speaker connection, right? Okay. Okay, I'll explain that later. Jesus Christ almighty. Jeez. Oh my God. Right. Let's go and have a look inside. This thing is absolutely huge. This tube is bonkers. I have never worked on a Trinitron this big. Certainly not here. Right, okay, yeah, there's a reefer cap there that looks like it's burst, so I might take that out. I've actually even got something there. There's a little reefer cap, so I might do that. This board has popped out. Wow, it looks high hour, and it also looks like there's been some sort of moisture. Yeah, it's a little bit damp in places. There's the flyback transfer. Well, actually, no, actually, that's some sort of secondary. There's the flyback there, and then there's something there, some sort of transformer there. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, it's just bonkersly huge. It's like, wow. Wow, okay. Let's just stand back and admire the beauty in that. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's try and create some sort of narrative here. So yeah, big tube, huge tube, lots of dust, high hour, I'd say. This board had come out. This is the power supply down here, or part of the power supply. There is the reefer cap there. That looks like it's cracked, burnt and smoked itself out. So I'm going to take that board out, desolder it and put a fresh 2x capacitor in there, safety capacitor. I might even replace a couple of these capacitors here. Yeah, it is monumentally huge. Down here, we've got some sort of transformer down there. That's the flyback. It's pretty manky down in there. It looks like, and there's no sign of any popped caps, but it will definitely need a recap if we're going to do anything with it. Yeah, this connector down here is actually for the speakers. So there's another connector goes in there, and it's the only way you can actually get to the speakers and take the back off. So that's interesting. It's relatively small, this board here. So I can't see any. Have we got any chips? Can we see any dates? No, not really. I think the best thing for me to do is to give this a quick hoover out, just so that I don't get completely grubby and dirty. We'll replace that reefer cap, and then we'll put a plug on, because it's not got a plug, and then we'll plug it in. By the way, this is 160 watts. So it's not an economy, you know, like an energy compliant TV. I will say that right now. 160 watts. Yeah, for a CRT, that's especially 240 volts. That's quite good. So in America, that would be what we're looking over 300 watts. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's clean this up. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. I've taken the neck board off and just having a look at the cups on the tube, and if I go in there, they definitely look used. They've got a slightly orange tinge to them, but yeah, it's definitely had plenty of use. Let's just move it back out. Yeah, okay, so I think the next step is going to be replacing that, or removing that reefer cap out of circuit and maybe putting the new one in. Yeah, I'm also going to check to see whether I've got the connector for this for the BK467 tester, see whether I can test this. Yeah, okay, right, let's get on with that next. Okay, so I've just checked my stores and I don't have one of those left, so it is just going to be a case of removing it. Take the cover off that fuse and we can get to the back. It's quite straightforward. There we go. Let's just push you back a little bit so you can see. Oh yeah, that's definitely gone. That reefer cap has absolutely popped itself. Right, yep. Come on, get a good connection. Yeah, that's fine. I think somebody else has been in here before. It just feels like it. Things are not in the right place. I don't want it all the bits to go into the circuit board, so I just need to hold it back a little bit. Ooh, came out. Came out quickly. Right. Alright. Let's have a look. Right. So, yeah, that reefer cap is dead ski. 0.22 microfarads, X-rated capacitor. I just don't have one in stock, but you can run it without it. It's just a noise suppression capacitor rather than anything else. So, and then we can put that back in there like that. Now the power cable is a bit mangled. It's okay. It's not unsafe, but certainly long term I would put a fresh one on. It's had quite a few dings and scrapes. So I'm going to put a plug on this thing. Okay, so I think I'm going to run this up on the isolation transformer. I think it's safer to do so. Let's put this back on. Okay. Make sure everything's out of the way, because this thing is big. Let's just spin this round. Wow, that is a big TV. Okay, so let's see whether this thing powers up and actually gets a picture after removing that reefer cap. Alright, swig of tea. Smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast. Right. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, let's reset that. I'm gonna just move that up like that because it's in my eyes. And I'm just going to show you how big this TV is on this bench. Hang on. So it looks okay, but look. This is the space I've got. It's absolutely humongous, this TV. Yeah, it is. The camera makes it look smaller. It's just huge. It's just absolutely huge. So I've got you on 50 frames a second. Oh yeah, what bulb have we got? We are on a 100 watt bulb and it's 160 watts for the TV. So on load, it's plugged in. All right, are we ready? Power is applied. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Yep, we're all good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the light over there is on. That's the degaussing. Should start flickering and dying down. 97, 92, 93. There we go. Look, 87 watts. Right. Okay, we've got a number there which is flickering. So we basically haven't got enough current to actually start the TV up. So it's trying to start, but it's not. Okay. Let's power off. Basically 4 mains. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. I did see a flicker from the tube. Oh my lord, there it is. There is a picture. So, no buttons at all. There's definitely a picture there. There is definitely a picture there. Right, let me get my little game thing down. Let's plug that in. This is just one of these little Atari 8-in-1 game things. So, okay. This should output a composite video signal and audio, but there's no speakers in. And let us see what's going on. Right. And I'm going to go and get the remote control for my other PE3 chassis TV, which is in my spare room, and it's the profile, the 20-inch profile. I've got a funny feeling that remote might work with this. All right, give me a second. Right, so got a remote control. Does it do anything? Oh, it doesn't say on that one. Okay, we'll find out. Okay, let's power it up again. And we're getting absolutely nothing from... There is definitely a picture there. But this remote isn't... Whoa! Whoa! Look at that! Oh! Cool! What went? What went? Let's take that out. Oh wow, look at this. Wow. So it let out the magic smoke, but I'm not entirely sure where it was from here. So maybe around here or down there, somewhere here maybe. Nothing over there, just over here. So I want to plug it back in again and power it on. Oh, actually, let's do it. Let's put the power switch on. Right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Anything? Nothing. That was full frontal smoke coming out of this thing. Nothing. Nothing at all. Ah, okay. 126 watts. Can I see anything? Any smoke? Has it just burnt itself out? I don't know. But there was, well, yeah, it was something around here. 134 watts. Okay, so I've just plugged a composite in, just so it's got some sort of frequency going into it, like a horizontal and a vertical frequency. Maybe it's something to do with that. I don't know. Just guessing. 139 watts. Isolation transformer's getting warm. I can't see anything. Was it a cap that let loose? Okay, so I've put a mirror there, just so I can see the screen. I just want to see if I get any raster or flash of a raster at all. We still get a flash of a raster. Okay, let's turn the lights down. Yeah, you get there's a raster there, so we've got high voltage. I'm trying to see in... I'm actually using the camera to... Nothing really... No blown caps. Oh, I see. Look. It's another bloody reefer cap, isn't it? There's another bloody reefer cap there. That's what it was. Okay, alright. Yeah, this one down here. Reefer cap. And that looks like the power going in. So yeah, we've had another reefer cap pop. Oh, these reefer caps. They are well known for doing it. Now, I don't particularly want to have to pull the board out right now. So I'm actually going to leave that in, and it's probably popped. It's not really going to do any real damage. It's done it. Okay, right, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Right, there is static on that screen. You can actually see it. Let's see whether I can turn that off. There we go. There's static on it. There's definitely something there. Now we've lost the picture. But it's there. There's definitely something there. Right, I've got an RF signal going in. I wonder whether it's the buttons down here. What's happening is sometimes they all get stuck on, and it sends the little microcontroller into a bit of a spin, and it won't respond to any remotes. Does this one work? Yeah, that one definitely works. Can you see it? Yeah, there we go. There we are, look. We've got static on screen. That's it. Right, well, we've got a picture, and it's a little hazy, but yeah, and essentially what I've done is I've actually plugged my SCART connection directly in, because this little joystick thing here is only composite, so it automatically switched over to AU and has now picked that up. So there might be something wrong with the RF on this, I'm not sure, but we definitely have a picture. Let's see whether we actually get a brightness. Yeah, the brightness control is working. Yeah, the buttons on the front are not necessarily doing anything. I think some of these are jammed on, so but yeah, we have a picture, but it's, boy, is it a big one. I said that's a 14-inch there. Yeah, not bad at all. Okay, so I've got a test card on it, and as you can see, the trapezoid, it's basically just pulling in on the sides there. The height is dropped down at the top there. You've got a bit of a gap at there. The frequency seems good. Green looks stronger than blue and red. The white looks very slightly green to me, though I'm terrible at colours. Convergence at the top here is off. But yeah, you can see the actual line basically goes out way. That should be straight. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I'm just looking around, just seeing whether there's anything. Yeah, let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to the next. There you can see how pronounced the trapezoid is. So yeah, this needs a lot of work. Possibly where it's been dropped or, you know, bashed around a bit. It's so heavy, it's so difficult not to bash it. But yeah, all the convergence is out down here. The convergence is out up there. Yeah, the blue's out down here. It's not too bad. You've got some slight hooking there, which usually is, again, power issues. I do think this thing needs a whole recap. Yeah. Oh, that all looks so bent in. But the contrast isn't too bad. Wow, look how curved they are. But again, as you can see, the green is a little bit brighter than the red and the blue. So I think a little bit of balancing might help there. Yeah, red is alright. You've got some purity issues down here. And purity issues down here, a lot up there. And also possibly a little bit up the top there. God, this is such a big TV. Next, green. Oh yeah, as you can see the difference. It's very bright indeed. Blue, a little bit muted, but yeah. And those patterns you're seeing are the moire patterns between the aperture grille on the CRT and the CCD on the camera. So I can't see that in real life. Whitish, possibly a bit greenish. There's some sort of bars going on there, something going on. Again, caps, I think. That should be straight as a die. Look, that's what it should look like there, look. Yeah, that's what it should look like, and then we've got that, yeah. Oh, the standard test card. Again, the frequency response down here seems pretty good. I can see the lines. I can see the lines through all of them, so yeah, it's just the picture's completely skew. Oh yeah, look, as you can see, the 3 megahertz, you can see the lines, so that's absolutely fine. Right, okay, let's see whether I can sort all this out. I did see some controls in there, but what I've got to do is turn the TV off and then put a mirror in there and see what I can do. Okay, so there's some of the adjustments there. So we've got tilt, horizontal amp, Y-bow, vertical size, vertical height, something anyway, something amp, P-phase, H-size, vertical centering. So let me have a little play with those and see what happens. So doing the tilt seems to have helped the convergence, and I've pulled the height up. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the linearity. Oh yeah. The vertical bow doesn't seem to do anything at all. That pulled it in. That pulled it in, didn't it? Yeah, that definitely pulled it in, didn't it? So we've now actually got a relatively straight pattern there. Let's go back to... We sort of have a circle. That's good. We've got the height. We've got a circle. We've got roughly straight lines. The colour's looking a bit off. So the red drive is fixed, but the green drive... So I'll just get that out of the way. The red drive is fixed, but the green and the blue are adjustable. I wonder whether we can do something with the focus. Let's try the focus. Yeah, it's a bit better. Let's try a different test card. It is all off all over really, isn't it? It looks a little bit washed out, but I think that's down to the controls. I can't adjust the contrast or the colour, bring the colour up. Yeah, if I can sort out all of the controls down here, then we can then start really tuning it in and fine-tuning it in, but that's pretty much everything there. I might just adjust the vertical height. There we go. It was just dropping below under certain circumstances. Yeah, it's just a little bit muted on the colours. Okay, so I've managed to get the main circuit board out, and I've taken the front panel off, and that front panel actually sits across the back here, and it separates so you can get to it. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this front panel and take the circuit boards out, and I'm going to check all of the buttons here. And I think what's happening is the same issue that things like the Sony Betamax SL-C7s and C5s suffer from, is that the buttons basically die. So yeah, I'm going to check all of these out. Again, also check for any bad solder joints and stuff like that. Any buttons of this period will, yeah, they're going to be suffering with mechanical stress from being pressed and stuff like that. So, right, okay, let's take this apart and see what I've got. Right, well, I've desoldered all of the buttons, and they're all over here. And I've started to make tracks on actually replacing them. Now, The main one, the TV video one, I've sorted that one out, that's fine. But these things are too short. These, even these ones here are too short. And one thing I did find in my stores was some more of them, but these have got shorter lengths. The end is still too short. So I can jerry-rig something if I need to. And the slightly longer ones here, sorry, I'm just farting around here. These ones here, what I'm having to do is actually break apart one of the switches and use a part of it and super glue it onto the top to get the length I need. So it will then hit the buttons. So I'm getting there. It's just a much harder proposition than you think. I could just order the right length, but that could take ages, and I don't want to wait ages. So yeah, it will work. It will work. The super glue will do its job. They are a little bit wobbly, but there's actually quite a bit of switch there, so hopefully that should actually do it. So yeah, I'm just going to basically break these old switches apart to harvest bits to basically super glue along all of the ones, and when the ones I've run out of, I will use these shorter ones and maybe do something different. The switches did come with these little green caps on. I could do something with these. Not sure yet. So yeah, okay, I'm just going to work my way through. Okay, so it's about midnight now, and I'm getting quite tired, and I'm making a few mistakes. But they've all got new switches on, and I'm literally just cutting up the old switches, the ends of the switches, to actually extend them just enough, and it's working. It is absolutely working. When I've been test fitting, the buttons feel lovely. So yeah, so I'm just going to give this a rest. For you it will be seconds. For me, I want to go to bed and refreshed in the morning, and I can get on with this. So morning, I'm back in on the CRT TV, and here we go. Yeah, I needed that sleep. So we're going to get back on with fixing those buttons there. Let me just zoom in. There we go. Yeah, so that's where we got to. Yeah, I'm just going to continue on with this, and I'll put you on a bit of hyperlapse, I think. Okay, so I've replaced the capacitors. I've extended the length of all of these switches. I just have to cut them down now, again using the side cutters, just to the right length. And I'm going to use the existing lengths of these ones to cut them down. So it should be, bear with me, I'd say about might be a little low. Oop, that one popped off. I'm rushing the glue a little bit. I really should let it set, but I want to do things. And if I can get it on there and put back into its plastic frame, it will sit there and dry. Because it might run down the shaft, and it might run down these little shafts and into the switch itself. So I'm gluing myself again. Right, everything seems to be done. It's as best as I'm going to get it. I need to let these dry, really, I think, looking at this. So I'll cut away now to a jump cut of me actually putting it back into the into this when it's had a bit of time to dry. In fact, what I might do is move this out the way, and you can join me looking at the main board. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Okay. Okay, so we've got the main board here. Now, because of the fragility of the plastics and also taking all these connectors off and stuff like that, I'm going to try and work with the board here, because also this TV is huge and I can't get the TV sort of in shot and all sorts. So what I'm going to do first is have a look and see whether I can get to, yes, I can get to the thing. Let's see whether I can get you, position you better actually. Let's see whether I can get you in. This is such a big TV. Let's put you back over here, clamp you down here. So, yeah. Oh, we've got some burn. There's a hot resistor there. There's been some rework here. Let's see whether I can get you in a little further in. Trust me, it's hard to set up this shot. This is why I don't like doing long form videos, because you spend so much time setting up all your stuff and then somebody comes along with a pithy comment. It just doesn't work. Right, okay. So it looks like there has been some rework on this. We've got the flyback here that looks like it's been reflowed quite badly by the looks of it. There's a lot of solder flux here. That's one of the resistors there, one of the big tool resistors. They do tend to get hot, so I need to reflow that. What I need to do is I need to work out where that reefer cap is, and it literally is just here. Okay, so if I spin up the desoldering, I can desolder that capacitor and get it out of the way. I can reflow some of this stuff. Most of this looks all right. It's just old. It's just well used, well loved. Looks like there's been some sort of rework stuff here with that. Somebody's put a bridge in there. Let's move that cable out the way. There we go. And again, just some, again on the power supply, there's some hot resistor solder joints that need reflowing. But otherwise, it's not too bad. Just cleaning the flux off. Just basically, I've had instances where the flux itself has caused an arc over, especially in the high voltage sections on CRTs. I'm just sort of waiting for my desolder gun to warm up. That's why I'm doing this. Yeah, there's a lot of, looks like a lot of reworks happened on this. So I am definitely not the first person in here by a long shot. So all of this down here, you can see where somebody's actually bridged connections and put fresh connections in due to failures and stuff like that. So yeah, this has definitely been reworked. Oh, look at that. Oh, the actual reefer cap has stuck to the connector. That's why it wouldn't come out, because I had to pull the connector out. So it's exploded, and then got stuck to the power connector. Hey. Okay, so I'm going to try and get this reefer cap off. Is it? Oh no! There it comes. Oh yeah, that really did pop. That really did pop, didn't it? Oh yeah, juices. Oh, juices. Nasty juices as well. Yeah, that did melt. That actually managed to melt the connector on there. So yeah, it's it did actually get hot enough to make an impression on that. So So what I want to do is I want to replace any of the capacitors that are in hotspots, because they really will just boil out the insides of themselves. Problem is I don't know exactly what the sizes are until I get them out. This thing's definitely had a hard life. Not as hard as some sets, but certainly for I can believe that it's been in a hotel. It's been run for quite some time. The reason I'm using IPA is because there's a lot of contamination from potentially water ingress coming in, and you get the sort of minerals inside the water that again dry out and they can be conductive. So I'm just trying to move things around a bit. I could be breaking it, who knows. Sometimes you just best to leave these things and not really touch them too much. But okay, it works, but if it didn't, it'll just go straight to scrap. So very difficult to show you, but there's a cap right beside the flyback, 22 microfarad 250. These low microfarad high voltage ones, they always tend to be a bit iffy, especially on Sony's. 4.7 volt microfarad at 250, that one. Yeah, let's see whether I've got even remotely that. I don't think I have. Yeah, 4.7 160. It's about the closest I've got. So let's make a list. $470.35. I've got a $470.50. Not too bad. It could have stayed in there, but it did look a bit manky on top. So let's put a fresh one in on the board underneath. So on the other side, it has definitely been leaking a little bit. You can see actually where there's been water ingress on the board. Here you can actually see the patination of the dust with water. Okay, alright, let's get I'm going to order some more capacitors because I've not got the stock. And I'm going to come back to this, but what I want to do is check the front panel now. If we can get the front panel working. Yeah, so if I can get the front panel on, get it all connected back up again, let's power it up and see what it looks like on screen. Okay, so we're going to try and do this without damaging any of these cables. The glue's still not drying. Oh wow, okay. I think they're alright. Yeah, that one came off. Yeah, so it's possible that I've put too much glue and it's run down into the switch itself. It's still clicking, but it's because the glue is actually not set yet. What I can do is give the pots a little bit of a clean. These were gummed up, you can feel it. I'm hoping this works. I'm really hoping it works. Okay, let's see whether we can get this in without everything breaking. Some are working, some aren't. Yeah, so we need to take it apart again. I'm tempted to modify the thing itself, so There we go. So we've got that out, and I'm tempted to right, there we go. Put that back in. Yeah, that feels good. That all feels, yep. So that one goes, that one pushing a little bit. That's the one with the super glue issue. Yeah, I just need to put another one in there. Some super glue got down inside the switch and it's just made it bad. I don't want to risk it. So I'd have to take this all apart again if that gets stuck down, and then it will basically switch off all the buttons because one is always being pressed. Yeah, that all feels good. Okay, so while that's all drying okay and that's all back together, I'm gonna basically replace the two capacitors here on this main power board, and this is the power cable coming in, and that goes out to the switches and all sorts, and this drives the PTC, which actually runs the Gorza, and it also looks like it's actually powering another circuit as well. So I'm just going to do that. So while actually putting all the connectors back in, I've just found this. If I look very carefully, 2nd of December 1985 maybe, or 1986. So yeah, we can date it just about. It's 1985 or 1986. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad. So yeah, I'm just getting this all back together again. Yeah, I've got all the connectors are numbered, also got markings on them, so it's relatively straightforward. I'm just going to swing this back round and then put the TV back together again and try it. Okay, so it's back together again. The buttons on the front seem to all work. Nice clicky clicky. Yep, that all works. They're all positioned in the centre, the pots. Yeah, right, let's plug in and let's see what happens. So is it... I think that's off. Are we ready? Okay. DVD's playing. Let's see whether it goes bang. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Power. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, look. Cool. Ish. Oh, there we go. Right. Okay, I'm going to turn the other little television on just so we get some sound. Okay, let's see what happens with the... Oh yeah, look, yeah, that works. Colour. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's definitely working. That's way better. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can get right down and also you can go right up. Yeah. Sharpness is good. That works. I think I need to balance the colours, which is the next step. Do we need to check the RF? Yes, we do. Okay. SCART out. Search. There we go. I think it's searching now. Oh, there we are. Let's see whether we can get a little games console running on it. Hey, look at that. Oh, fantastic. That is... Convergence is out. Oh yeah, there we go. Look. Yeah. Excellent. Whee! Yeah, the convergence is out in the centre by the looks of it. Yeah, look, it's off quite a bit. Yeah, I think I need to put the test signal back on it again and get the red, green and blues all good, and I think it's running and we just need to hear the sound. I want to set the colour up, see what I can play with the convergence. I want to get the sound on this. I want to hear the sound. So, okay, right. That's looking pretty good, isn't it? I think the green's a little too high. So it's the G drive, okay. Still got some stuff going on here and the height, which we can sort. The red, the green, the blue. Blue up a tad. Yeah. There, it doesn't look too bad. It sort of matches, so I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go back to a test card. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. We've just got to sort out some of the linearity problems here. That to me doesn't look too bad. It's a bit wiggly down the side here, but it seems okay. That's the thing, is that it's a nice stable picture. I think the power supply caps do need replacing. We've got where there's a white line across there, you can see that the power supply is rippling a tiny bit, the little wiggles. In the centre the convergence seems very off, so but I don't really want to play around with it just yet. Play around with the convergence on it. Yeah, can you see there, look, it's still a bit wobbly there. Over here there's convergence, but you can also see the little ripples just after the white lines. So right, I think that's not too bad. Let's just move you up a little bit. There we go. I think that's not too bad considering. It's a big tube and yeah, there's a lot going on there. One of the things is there's a module at the back there. I think I've showed you in the video where I can actually, you got all the adjustment pots. All the capacitors on that module need replacing. So I'm fighting against bad capacitors, potentially bad capacitors and other bits. Colours are alright. Yeah, that'll do. Red. You can actually see purity issues here and here. Green looks good. Blue looks good. White is as white as it's going to be. If you remember when we first started, it was like this. So yeah, it's better. It is better. Under normal use, I'm not going to see it a huge amount. That's, yeah, you can see the 3 MHz lines. So the frequency response is quite good on this. It really isn't bad, considering it's 40 years old. It's spent its life in a hotel. It's been rained on. I'm happy with this. This is it's such a great TV. It's so big. It's so big. It's lovely. Yeah, okay. Let's get the back on this and get the audio. Okay, so the back's on, all the speakers are connected, and the remote control that didn't work now works, so it must have been a loose connection. So here we go.
Power off them. Set the controls on automatic takeoff and evacuate the ship.
It sounds gorgeous. I've had a little play with the bass and the treble. Right, left. Sounds great. Right, I'm probably going to get a content match, but here we go. It really isn't that bad. As I said, it's not fully set up. The capacitors are all a bit iffy, but yeah, I'm pleased with this. I have a feeling this will be the main TV in my spare room with all my games consoles and stuff like that. That moire pattern you can see in the camera, that's not in person, that's CCD sensor on the camera.
I think we're getting warm, Harry. Animal and botanic? Of course. That explains everything. Do you realize what this is? Aren't you feeling better?
No, I'm not.
Then pull yourself together, man. This is fascinating. This is a cryogenic repository.
Repository for what?
Everything.
We see and hear through the mind of the being called Cinephar.
Does matter? Break's in trouble. It could be just an illusion.
No, it is happening. It is the truth beyond question.